let's use 525 first. Gonna use it with a synthetic and natural.
Okay guys, so we are here. We're about to go in.
Hey Susan. So would you say your skin is combination oily, acne prone?
Not really oily, but I tend to get acne sometimes.
Okay, so maybe like a normal to combo and acne prone. You can look at the screen over there. We're going to be seeing what's going on underneath. Yeah, we do have a little bit of hyperpigmentation. Not too much, but we do have it. I'm going to show you real quick. This part over here you see is like a different color altogether than this part here. So that suggests you might not be using sunscreen every day. Something you can start amping up the use of. Let's see if we can catch the texture on the screen. Like overall your skin is pretty good. There you see some of black spots, blackheads. In general texture I would say, let's see the nose real quick. Yeah, quite oily. So yes, totally a combination skin. Though the forehead seems to be a bit dehydrated. There's a little bit of a texture over there. The pores are a tiny bit congested. So if you want, I'm gonna show you a few products. Come with me to the aisle. I'm gonna be suggesting a few things.
Okay.
Since your skin is pretty much combination, you can get away with using a gel cleanser. I'm gonna suggest this one. This has glycolic acid, which helps with the hyperpigmentation, and also has salicylic acid, so it's gonna help diminish the breakouts. Okay. Also, you can use this day and night, also with glycolic acid for the hyperpigmentation, right? And then for the nighttime, I'm gonna be suggesting this treatment. This is pure retinol. Retinol works for spots, for wrinkles, for lines, and also for a little bit of that stubborn acne, you know, that is not bacterial, mostly just congested skin. So this would be perfect for you at nighttime. I would suggest then going and top it off with this sort of anti-aging mask. Anti-aging starts in a preventive measure. We don't have to wait till we're 30, 40 to start doing anti-aging measures. So I'm going to say do this night cream. It also has vitamin C, a little bit of pro-retinol, and hyaluronic acid. Small quantities of them, so you can totally mix it with the retinol. that'd be for the nighttime. For the daytime, I would like something very easy, nothing too crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and say you do the face wash, the toner, and then maybe just like a simple anti-aging serum. This one has hyaluronic acid and procylane, which is like a soul renewing agent. And after that, I would suggest just a simple SPF. One of my favorites is this one, especially for your skin type. And it's dry touch. You don't feel it on your skin, doesn't leave a lot of residue. Especially in Cayman, it's very hot and people are sweating a lot and it's oily. I'm super oily right now. So I'm gonna say this sort of SPF would be perfect. So anyhow, let's come over to Jason so you can get your foundation tested.
Okay.
Jason! Let's get, oh, he's playing with my instrument. Let's get her analyzed for a foundation.
Hi.
Hey.
So I'd like to focus on how to choose the perfect match of the shade. Usually it's hardest to find the perfect tone or the perfect concealer tone or
Yeah.
the perfect powder. In this case, I like to focus to that because it is tricky to find just one tone that's perfect. Sometimes we have to use different tones, like 2 tones or 3.
Yeah.
Usually also, sun damage makes our face one tone and our body a different tone. So there's usually 2 tones or
Yeah.
maybe even 3 tones. Sometimes 1 tone here, 2 tone, and then a 3rd tone, right? So to prevent that foundation from looking like a 2-tone foundation, the best way to do it is to really test it in different areas. So you might want to test it here, on the shoulder, on the face. You want to find the perfect match that is a happy medium between the 3. Okay? So in this sense, I would always suggest trying it in different areas. So I'm going to test it on your neck and see what disappears on the neck so that when I put it on the face, it doesn't look two-toned.
Okay.
Before I do this, I always ask, what is your skin like? Is it an oily skin or dry skin, or maybe a combination of both?
Combination.
Of both. So there's some dry areas and then there's some oily areas.
Yeah.
Perfect. So in this case, I would suggest Infallible Fresh Wear. This is one of my favorite formulas because it's oil-free, oil controlling, transfer-proof for the face mask or clothes. It has SPF 25, so it's also great for the climate. Oil-free, so it doesn't get very shiny and it dries into a powder. And this formula looks so lightweight, actually. I'm going to try
Is
many
it like
shades.
is it like similar to the Super Stay? Does it like
Yes, it's very similar to the
coverage?
Super Stay from Maybelline. Yes, this would be the equivalent of the Maybelline Super Stay because we are the same company. So Maybelline and L'Oreal are the same house, where the ingredients and the formulations are very similar. The longevity of the brands, they're both hypoallergenic or approved by dermatologists for sensitivity. So both brands do have products for different needs. The only difference is that Maybelline is more targeted to a younger spectrum, and then I would say L'Oreal has a bit of a wider variety of range of formulas for younger or for older. Okay, I would say Maybelline is more targeted for the younger crowd, though.
Okay.
So with this in mind, it's good to always have the need for each age range.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see which undertone, but I'm thinking you might be in the neutral, cool undertone.
Yeah.
So that means we don't need too much yellow. We need more of the red or neutrals. Okay. So before I put it on your face, I'm going to try it on the body. I'm going to try it on. So I'm looking for shades that disappear quickly. Actually, I was pretty lucky because the first try already looked so good. So I like how it looks on the chest. I'm going to try this on the neck and also on the face. Because like I said before, we have sun damage, so sometimes this area is darker than this area, or vice versa. So you want a happy medium between the 3, so that when you put it on, it doesn't look like a mask. I'm going to try a second shade now. This shade is a little more red. Notice the difference between one and the other. This one as being a little more red. You can see less yellow than the first try.
Yeah.
And now comparing to the first one we did, let's try this one right here. So actually they're both pretty close, so I would actually try both. I like both of them. So I looked for the one that I thought was going to disappear the fastest, but they actually both disappear really nicely. So I'm going to try both of them on the face, okay? Now I'm going to use a brush. Let's use 525 first. I'm going to use it with a synthetic and natural more airbrush finish. Let's see how that looks. Let's see. Are you from Cayman Island?
Jamaica.
Oh, nice. We travel a lot to Jamaica for work too. Yeah, I've been to Mobe, Kingston. What we do is really just demonstrate, you know, this type of a pop-up event in stores, and we really try to help, you know, customers, because usually sales associates don't know the information correctly, or they don't know how to really just test it. So what I'm looking for is something that still looks like it's not on. I'm looking for coverage, but I'm looking for natural coverage. So let's go, as opposed to the other side, already notice here, at least on the jawline, that it's blending seamlessly with the body. So that's what I want, something that blends naturally. Notice that you only have it here and in the center of the nose, and as you compare one side to the other, it still looks natural, right? This one was shade 525. I'm gonna try it a little on the forehead as well. And we're gonna try the other shade on the other side to see how it compares, okay? How does it feel?
Smooth.
Right? Feels smooth, it feels soft. The name says it all. It's called fresh wear, so it's supposed to stay fresh all day. It's supposed to stay very like no makeup. Notice that there's no enlarged pores as well, so it's non-comedogenic for, you know, for the pore. Also dermatologist approved. The layer, the foundation has building layers, so you can let it dry, and then you put a second layer on top of the first layer to add more coverage. So if you have a spot here and you want to cover the spot, just put a little more on the spot. See? And there's covered.
Yeah.
So you don't want to put too many layers on the whole skin, because we live in hot climates where the skin needs to breathe. Okay? So definitely 525 is a good choice. I'm going to do 520 for more red, just to see. I'm going to use this with a flat brush. So this one's a little more red. And if you notice, also disappears where we put it, so we don't have to see where it is and where it's not. But if you ask me, this one disappears just a little easier. So this one is still natural, but I can still see a little bit. Even though it blended nice on the body, it still sees a little bit on the face. Being a little more red, I'd say you don't want too much red. We can make it work, as you can see, but I really want it to be effortless. And here, for instance, you don't have any here, and you don't see a difference where it is and where it's not. See? Or for instance, in the forehead or on the nose, you don't see where it is and where it's not. So I would definitely go with shade 525.
Okay.
Let me even it out for you so you don't look funny. So let's even it out. This was 525. I'm going to do 525 on the rest of the face. Like I said before, this is a liquid to powder foundation, so this helps for the climates we live in. It helps for the oil excess for people that are very oily. It's very good because you can clean the sweat off and it won't transfer to the napkin, or if you put a mask on, it won't transfer to the mask. So it's very good for the mask nowadays. L'Oreal is actually trying to, you know, attack the need for the people that are, you know, for nowadays without this pandemic. So they're really making things that are waterproof as well, so you can go inside the water and it's waterproof. It's oil proof, sweat proof, and like I said, transfer. Definitely, I would maybe do a lighter shade in concealer just for the eyes. So notice how it looks on camera, look at how it looks on the mirror. You can see how it feels before we conceal. Notice that it blends naturally where it's not. There's no foundation here, but you don't see where it is and where it's not, so you have very nice skin. We might still have a spot or two, so just put the foundation on the spot. So notice here on the spot. If you want, get maybe here close to the camera right here, so where you can see the spot. But here with the light, see the little spot? So this is where we would focus on, just putting it on the spot. It's approved by ophthalmologists, so you can even use it on the eye area. As you can see, the spot is taken care of. So I would focus, if the foundation is the right shade, I would just focus it on the spots. I don't need it everywhere. If it's the right shade, you should be able just to use it on the spots, just like I did here. So I didn't put any foundation here, I just put it on the spot. Okay? And then for the concealer, I would just use a smaller foundation brush for a smaller concealer brush. And the concealer. And we're done with that. So the concealer should be one shade lighter. I'm going to use Infallible Fullwear. Let's see how it feels. You have to be careful because you don't want something too light so that it looks like a raccoon eye, like they say with a panda. We don't want that panda look. So I gotta be very careful. This one's already too light, so I'm gonna go darker. Look up towards the ceiling. So we're testing a concealer in one shade lighter just to highlight the area of the eye. Have to be careful that we don't want this to be too light. So as you can see, we're blending. And this concealer is also a liquid to powder, so you don't have to bake it. I don't suggest concealer that's too oily because of the climate we live in. So notice the difference from one eye to the other?
Yeah.
Or here in the mirror?
Because I have dark under eye circle, so yeah, it's
Yeah,
covers it.
so this really helps. Having a lot of red helps contrast that under eye darkness, as you can see. But you see, it doesn't have to look too white. Doesn't have to look like it's there. It can blend seamlessly to the foundation. Also, you might want to just grab a little bit of your foundation, same one you were using, and blend the difference between concealer and foundation everywhere, just to really help it blend. So it doesn't. You can see the difference one eye and the other,
Yeah.
and it still looks on the natural side, right? So let's do the other eye. Now that we've tried many shades and found the perfect match, I would say you are shade number 525 on the foundation and 425 on the concealer. So this would be a concealer in a lighter shade than the foundation. Okay?
Okay.
Let's do the other way really quickly. Okay, look up towards the ceiling. It's important to do these type of things when you buy your foundation or concealer because you don't test it. You probably will take a lighter or darker shade than you should take. So taking advantage of these pop-up events are very good. I will always say never try before you buy. I mean never buy before you try. When it comes to foundation at least. You can always, try a nice lip color and risk it. Usually a good red will work, but when it comes to foundations, you really want to try it. Notice before we blend it, yes, there you go. It's good.
Yeah.
At the end, very end, just want to set everything with a good powder. So same thing with the powder, you might want to test it on the body before you do it on the face, okay? Sometimes we just want to use powder and not use foundation. So we want to use it here, maybe on the shoulders, try it on the neck, see how it disappears on the body. And it should look good on the face. Let's see if it's true. I would use a big fluffy brush and just grab a little bit of the powder. Really blend. You can blend all around the face. It really blends. It's seamless. Also ophthalmologist approval, so you can use it on the eyes as well. The powder by itself gives a lot of coverage, so you might want to just use powder with a concealer. You don't have to use a foundation every day. You might just want to use a little bit of concealer and powder every day, and then just foundation for those special occasions.
need like a liner?
The liner, that's all we have.
That's it?
Yes. That's it.
Oh, like.
It's Jason Guash on Instagram. We travel a lot around the Caribbean, Central and South America to do this in-store pop-ups. The important thing is to really try before you buy.
Okay.
So thank you so much for your time and thank you
you
for
too,
having me. I hope to
Jason.
see you guys in Jamaica. To know the shade.
So remember, it's so important to take care of your skin, and with L'Oreal you can find amazing products at an affordable price point. So see you next time.
Thank you.